Hello friends, welcome to my channel Being Chemistrian. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. So let's start. Now we will discuss about the splitting diagram of multiplates. So if you see in this molecule, that is propyl bromide or bromopropane, this B proton have one signal due to these two hydrogen, and that will split according to different conditions. I will explain the first one. So if the JBA, that is this coupling JBA, is very much greater than that is JBC, then we will get highest number of peaks. We will get 12 peaks. How we are getting? This B proton that will give a one signal will split it due to A proton. What kind of splitting we will get? We will get quadrate. You can see here 1:2, 3:2, 3:1, and this is the JBA. So JBA is very much larger than JBC. So this quadrate will now split it into this neighboring proton CH2, that will a triplet. So every single signal will give triplet. You can see. So because of this larger value of GBA, there is no merging of signal and we are getting distinct 12 peaks. Now if you come to the second case, you can see here that JBA is twice that of JBC. That means whatever the signal we are getting here, that will now merge. If you see this merging of signal is there, that means these two will become one, these two will become one, and these two will become one signal. That's why we are getting less peak. Now we are getting 9 peak. Now in the third case, if you see, that is the JBA equal to JBC, again we will get less peak. Now what will happen? Now whatever we are getting this peak, this triplet and the triplet of this peak, now this signal and this signal is merging in one. This signal and this signal and merging in one. This signal and this signal merging in one. And also this signal. You can see these three signal 1, 2, 3 is merging in one signal, getting a intense peak. This one and this one merging in one single signal. And of course this is also like that. This signal and this signal is merging like one signal, and rest of the also like that. So we are getting less peak, that is 6 peak here. The same concept in this molecule. So when JAB equal to JAC, that is AB and AC, these are coupling partners. So what will be the splitting pattern? So whenever you see the coupling constant are same, you will simply apply n+1 rule. That means we will get a quintet. How will that? You can see this HA proton, the single signal of this two proton will be split by these HB protons, so that will give a triplet. Now this triplet will be again splitted by this HC proton. So this will give a triplet, this will also give a triplet, this will also give a triplet. Now if you see, because of JAB and JAC are same, the coupling constants are same, so these peaks, 3 peaks will be merged, and you can see clearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are getting a quintet here. Now I will discuss about C13 NMR, that is carbon 13 NMR. So the number of signal in a carbon 13 NMR spectrum tells how many different kinds of carbons are in my compound, just as proton NMR tells us how many different types of protons are in my compound. So if you see the difference between a carbon NMR and a proton NMR, you can see that the chemical shift value of proton NMR lies in between 0 to 12. And if you see in carbon NMR, the range is very large. That means it ranges from 0 to 220. Now come to this table. If I take tetramethylsilane as a reference standard, that will be at resonator at 0 ppm, all the sp3 hybridized atom are come in between 0 to 55 ppm. So the primary compound, that is primary carbon atom, will be resonator at 0 to 35. Secondary carbon atom will be 15 to 55. Tertiary will be 25 to 55 and quaternary will be 30 to 40. If you see this alkyne, the carbon will be at value 70 to 90. If that is connected to nitrile group, that is cyanide group, that carbon will be resonator at 110 to 120. Now, if you see the carbon-carbon double bond, that will be resonator at 100 to 150. Similarly, cyanide 150 to 170, and for the aryl benzene ring type of compound, the carbon resonate at 100 to 170. And for the all the halides, that is carbon to iodine, bromine, chlorine, you can see that will range from 10 to 20, 10 to 40, 25 to 50. And if you attach with any nitrogen, highly electronegative atom like oxygen, that value will be that much increase, 40 to 60 and 50 to 90. If you come to this amide, ester, carboxylic acid and aldehyde and ketones, the corresponding values are like this. So if you see the aldehyde and ketone, the fundamental difference is it will comes around 190 to 200 and it will come above 200 to 220. So this table, if you remember this table, that will be help to predict the carbon NMR very easily. Now I will discuss some of the molecules, that how many signal we will expect in C13 NMR for these 9 molecules. One by one I will explain. So what I will do is, if you see in this molecule, there are 3 type of carbons are there. This is one type carbon, this is second type of carbon, and this is third type of carbon. So you will expect 3 signal in 13C NMR. You can see clearly here, this CH2 is different from this CH2 because this CH2 is attached with pair and this CH2 is attached with CH3, and this is a different carbon. So you will get 3 signal in 13C NMR. Now come to the second molecule. If you see the next molecule B, you can see this is a symmetrical molecule like this. You can see there is a mirror image relationship between this carbon and this carbon. If you split this molecule into 2 equal half, it will split like in this fashion. So this carbon and this carbon is equivalent. So we will expect 1, 2, 3 signal in carbon 13 NMR. Now come to the next molecule, molecule C, that is 2-bromopropane. So when you see this molecule, this methyl group, they are equivalent, and if you see there is another carbon here, so we will expect 1 and 2. So 1, 2, total 2 peaks in 13C NMR. Now come to next molecule. So if you see in this molecule, this carbon is different, this carbon is also different, this carbon is also different, and this also different. So we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 signal. Now come to the next molecule. If you see in this molecule, these CH3 are equivalent. So we will get 1 signal for this 2 CH3, and for this carbon another signal, and for this carbon another signal. So 1, so this CH3 for 1, then 2, then 3. So 3 signal for this molecule. Now come to the next molecule, that is chlorobenzene. If you see in the chlorobenzene, there are a plane of symmetry is passing through like this. So this proton, this carbon and this carbon are equivalent. This carbon and this carbon are equivalent, and this is a different carbon and this is a different carbon. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We will get 4 signal in carbon 13 spectrum. Now come to the next molecule. This is, if you see this tertiary butyl group, this CH3 all are equivalent. So for this carbon and this carbon, 3 carbon you can see here also, we will get 1 signal, and for this carbon which is shown in this ball stick model, this carbon we will get 1 signal, and for this CH3 we will get another signal. So total 1, 2, 3 signal for this molecule, that is methyl tertiary butyl ether. Now if you see the next molecule, this molecule has a plane of symmetry like this, that is this CH2 is repeated here, this CH2, then carbonyl group, then again CH3. So there is a plane of symmetry here. So this carbon will have this and this carbon will have same chemical shift value, this carbon will have same chemical shift value, and remaining this carbon also have same chemical shift value. That means this. So 3 signal in 13C NMR. Now come to the next molecule. It is very simple. You can see very clearly there are 2 carbons are there. So we will get 2 13C NMR in the spectrum. So in this video I have explained how we will get different signals in for different structure. In the next video I will explain some complex molecule. We will take some cyclic molecules also. So for this video this much is enough. Thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe my channel.